Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Quantum Leap Futures Morning Leap session for Monday, November the 13th, 2017. My name is Doug McKay. I'm the founder of Quantum Leap Futures. Each morning we get together in these live go-to sessions to take a look at the market, macro to micro, take a look at the structure of the market, and then we drill down to our trade levels, our targets, and our hypotheses for the day. Our hypotheses are our trade plans, and we do create multiple trade plans. We do not know what the market's going to do. Nobody does. Therefore, we create plans based on simple auction logic, if then that type theory, and then we wait to see what the market does. And then once we see who's in control, we execute the plan that best suits what the market is doing. This is a subscription room. If you're interested in checking it out, send me an email at quantumleapfutures@gmail.com. There's no website, there's no blog. This is not a commercial venture. We do everything live here in the go-to, and then we do live trading and analysis during the course of the trading day. Please read through the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade plan, and your own risk metrics. So take a look at Friday. We opened auction in range. It was a very big range from Thursday, that 63 area up to that 84 and a quarter. We opened auction in range, in value, came down, tested the value area low. We two ticked the IB low, had a failed auction. And if you notice here, again, at the low of the day, we've been seeing this happen a lot lately, is here and here we had two FUBAR Mr. Sneakies. And either one of those, if you took it, you could have held for the whole day. Then we put in this weak high going into the close. We were actually looking for that gap fill at the end of the day. They just ran out of time and ran out of buyers to get up and close that gap. But essentially, we almost traversed the whole value area from that Thursday. Now, we were expecting to go higher into the Globex, the ETH session, and then Friday in the Sunday in the Globex, we were expecting a break to the high side. Well, they did that. If we look at the Globex, we opened up and then we went up and hit that 84.50, which is basically Friday or Thursday's high, and then went sideways. And once Europe opened, they took it down and came down to break the low on Friday. So we had a bearish engulfing session, basically engulfing Friday's inside bar. You can see Friday was an inside bar, and sorry, that's got to bring in. Let me just change the periodicity here. Let me go to 30 minutes. It's going to be a little bit clearer. There we go. So this chart breaks down between the Globex session. So this is our current Globex session. This was Friday's RTH. This was Friday's Globex session, and then this was the Thursday. And I'm watching this Thursday because we basically traded and engulfed the Friday and the Friday Globex session. We missed the high by 6 ticks. We have created a weak low here at the 71 and a quarter. So this is going to be a very important level again. That 70 is going to be our over underline, or actually giving a key line in the sand. If we get below the 70, I'm looking for a target down here at the 63 and a quarter. And I'll show you why in just a couple minutes. So basically, we are about, I'd say, 70% net short with a weak low right now and a very toothy profile. We just basically we're created a waterfall down. If you look at this right here, so we created this impulse wave down. So there's the impulse, there's the zipper. So then we had a zipper measured move with the primary target here at the 73.75 and the extended at 71.50. And you can see this is a waterfall effect. We're just slowly cascading down and if creating a weak low. And we just put in a low 71.25. So we have a double bottom now on the Globex. I'm expecting that to get broken at some point in time, and we've completed this whole zipper measured move. But let's just take a step back because I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's first of all take a look at the news. We've got we don't have a lot of news this week. The big news this week is going to be the tax plan, all this headline news that's coming out. In terms of scheduled news today, we really don't have anything except for 3-month and 6-month bill auction. We've got Bank of Japan, Kuroda speaking, but 2 o'clock we've got federal budget, but that's it. And there's not a lot of news this week overall. Same thing with earnings. Earnings is going to be all about retail mostly this week. You've got some big retailers, Best Buy, I believe, Home Depot, Walmart are a few that are coming out this week. But for the most part, the earnings is going to be light as well. Till you look at the commitment of trader report from Friday, nothing really has changed. This whole move up has been driven by the large spec, and the large spec continues to get more net positive, where the commercial paper is getting more net short. And you can see that the retail is finally starting to move towards net positive. And what we're looking for confirmation is when the large spec, gets to net positive, and the retail is the last that is net. I'm sorry, the large specs gets to net negative, and the small retail gets to net positive. That's going to be a definitive sign of the rest of the smart money. You can see the smart money is already leaving with the commercial. The algos, the large specs are driving this market on low volume, although the volume's starting to come in the last few days as we see some weakness coming in. Taking a look at the macro to micro, I always like to start my day looking at a simple candlestick chart. And I worked my way from monthly. And this is where I do, I'm watching the 9 EMA, the 20 SMA, where we are within the time frames. Are we still in a trend in the larger time frames as we work down into the intraday? So monthly, good slope, good separation, price paralleling 9 nicely. Got the upward channel of the upward sloping fork, just still within side of that. Going to the weekly. Now the weekly is interesting because this was the first week that we did not have a higher close or positive week. So not only that is we went down and we had that low at 62.25, and then we went down to 63.25, didn't break it, but we challenged it, and right now we're inside of last week. But we actually closed, our open was 25.80 and we closed 1 point below that at 25.79. So that's 9 weeks finally has been concluded with that unbelievable upward trend on the weekly. So we are seeing some weakness, but we don't even challenge the trend until we get down to the 9 EMA at 25.53, and we don't violate the trend until we break below at 2,500. Going to the daily, this is a telling sign right here. We were in this upward channel. For the most part, up until Thursday, we were closing back inside. Even though we kept on dipping below and challenging, we were closing back inside the lower channel line. Thursday changed that. Excuse me for 1 second. Sorry about that. So we kept on challenging it, but we kept on closing above it. Thursday changed that, where we actually closed below it. We actually broke below the 9 and 20, and then we closed above the 9, but below the channel line. And then Friday, we had an inside day, and so far we're seeing, we're seeing some more negativity. So this is saying that the trend could be changing on a larger time frame on the daily. As we move down into the Globex, or sorry, the intraday, you can see we've got good slope, good separation to the downside. Price is failing to get back above the 20, and so far we've broken below the 9 here. So this is the start of a downward trend on the 4-hour. On the 30-minute, you can see that accelerates, good slope, good separation. Although we do have a bit of a FUBAR Mr. Sneaky tech gap here, move up to close the tech gap. It's probably going to be somewhere around 74, but for the most part, the trend is down on the 30-minute. Going to the 15-minute, you can see same thing, and then on the 5-minute, you can see same thing, although we're losing some slope and separation here, so we might see a consolidation. But in my mind, we're most likely, this was a beautiful FUBAR Mr. Sneaky tech gap right here. This right here, if you caught it, you cut a nice little counter rotation. But this is starting to look a little bit weak to me. Thursday is going to be your template day, so I'd be taking a close look at Thursday and where the levels were on Thursday. So taking a look at the big picture, you can see that right now we're back inside of the value of the longer time frame micro composite. Our value area high is 75.50. I'm sorry, 75 and a quarter. That is going to be our over under line. And then 70 is going to be my key line in the sand, because below that, we're below Friday's low and likely to come down and come and test the value area low down here of the smaller time frame microcomposite. Right now, this microcomposite that runs from the gap up day on the 20th, our microcomposite VPOC is 73 and a quarter. We're below that. We're testing this low again. I expect lower lows coming into the RTH. So if we're unable to get above that and break the 70, I'm looking for the first target here at 68. That's the 3 days they tried to hold value there before taking a trip down through the whole value area on the microcomposite. This should have a profile on it too. This is the target below right now if we don't hold that 68. So below the 70, I'm targeting 68, and then if that doesn't provide buyers, which I don't think it will, then I'm looking for the low of the Thursday at the 63 and a quarter. But the next big destination is down here at that 61.50. Where they accepted value before gapping up and and breaking out. Key levels to pay attention to above. Again, that 75 and a quarter is going to be the over-under line. The upside, we haven't had, believe it or not, we haven't had an upside line in the sand. Well, that's clearly going to be that 2580. That 2580 has become so important in this area. And if we get back above that, then I'm thinking we continue up towards Thursday's high at 84.50 and a push into that that 90. Remember that this Globex, this RTH high, all-time high at 93.50 is unequalized against the all-time high put in the Globex last Sunday night at 94.50. So we still have an unequalized high. So if we get above 80, I'm expecting that slow grind up again is going to continue. But we are seeing some weakness in the market, which is good because it's going to bring some volatility. So taking a look at the Globex right now, our overnight high is 84.50. Our current, low is not going to hold. It's 71 and a quarter. I'm going to put it in here, but it's going to get broken. I doubt that it's going to hold. Our VPOC overnight is not likely to shift. It's up at 81. And you can see there's the new overnight low. I'm going to have to continue to just move this down. We've got a very toothy profile. This is a trend type profile. And we're just going to continue to probably melt down into the RTH session. But we've got an LVN here at the 74, 75. I'm going to be using just above that 75 and a quarter as my over underline. In fact, it's 75 and a quarter, but we've got the value area here at 76 and a quarter. So I'm going to engulf the two of them. This becomes my over under area. Key line in the sand remains at 70. Our 20 period full session daily ATR is running at 14.18. So currently off of the high overnight of 84.50 minus the 14.18, you're going to see that our daily ATR is right where we're trading right now at 70 and a quarter. So we get below the daily ATR, we could continue with range expansion and go into a trend day down. Off of the current low, which is 70 and a quarter, our upside ATR is 14.18, 84.50, which basically, we've traversed the average true range in the Globex. Levels to pay attention to above the 70. I'm targeting the 77.50. I'm sorry, above the 76. I'm targeting the 77.50. Excuse me 1 second. Sorry about that. And then we've got this LVN at 79, with the VPOC at 80 and a quarter, and the overnight at 81. So this is going to become, believe it or not, and this is rare that you see this. This is going to be my key line in the sand above. Oh. And then above that, 81.75, which is a week high. then 83. Actually, that's where that's supposed to be a target. 83.50, and then above the 84.50, I'm looking for a move up into this 90.25. Is there anything I got to worry about before that? 85.75, and that's it. And then to the downside, we do have the range low 73, and that is that micro composite V pocket 73.50. And then below the 68, there's 64.50. And the 63. I'm going to move this 63 down into this 65. Need that right now. And then our major support line is still the 56, the microcomposite of that balance area, microcomposite value area high of that balance area. So in terms of hypotheses, we are seeing weakness and possible trend change. So my hypo 1 is an open auction, out of range, out of value, responsive buying up into the 73 to 76 area, maybe even the 78, but I'm looking for initiative sellers to step in at that point in time, take us down, break through the 70 and push us down into that target at 68, and then chop between 68 and 61 and basically go sideways, creating basically a day inside of this wick right here and getting stuck in the lower part of this wick. That is hypo 1. Hypo 2 is a open auction out of range, a move down to the 64 to 63, maybe even in the 61, find buyers, and then start grinding our way up into the 70 to 73 area and spending a good deal of time here, and then pushing up into that 78 area and chopping into the close in around that area. Hypo 3 is an open test drive, failure to get inside of the prior day range or hold inside of the prior day range, and then rotate us down into that 68, chop between 68 and 63, and then push through, down through, closing the naked VPOC and the naked gap, and getting a trend day down into the 55 to 49 area and back into the overall balance of the microcomposite, which is down at the 49 area. That is hypo 3. Hypo 4 is a open auction just out of range, a push up into the prior day and basically chopping sideways between 25.80 and 25.70 and just having a sideways consolidation day on the weak side. So those are my 4 main hypotheses. I doubt we're going to get a strong rally up, but keep in mind, if we get above the Thursday high of the 84.25, hammer rules come into effect. This is a classic hammer, and I would be looking for a strong move up into that 90.25. That's my my alternative hypo, but it's not likely to be seen today. I would think if we see it, it's probably going to be tomorrow or Wednesday. Take a look at gold. Here we are, just chopping around around the composite VPOC and the microcomposite VPOC between the 77 and the 76 area. Nothing's changed. All the levels remain the same. 72, 68, 63. 63 not likely going to hold if we go down there. Free fall down into the 48.50 area. If we can hold the 72 chop, set value in around the 77 area, push up towards the 85, and any break above the 85, we're looking for a push into the 89.50, but ultimately up into the 91, 93 area. We're just consolidating here and unable to get away from this long-term price acceptance, which is our composite VPOC that goes all the way back to October the 24th, 2008. So that's going to complete our pre-market session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.